So we got the Snapdragon 865 that's going to be coming up. At least that's the natural progression of things. They've always announced their next-gen mobile SoC at this event. Maybe they'll finally start talking about having the sub-6 and the millimeter wave 5G radios working all together at once, because it was just one or the other in the X50 modem chip. That was, it all had to do with heating issues, or, just not being able to run both sets of radios at the same time, at the very least. And then we might hear more about PC ARM chips. Definitely would be curious to see if that Surface Pro X chip that Qualcomm and Microsoft worked on might get a little bit more color on that, with color being the most investory term that I've used in this explanation so far. So yeah, I guess, what are you guys looking most forward to in order to get what's the one piece of information that you would like to learn about or most want to see?
Max and I were actually just talking about it during the dead time.
Yep.
And I assume we're possibly both going to have the same answer, but it's that Qualcomm is expected to announce 8K 30 with 10-bit color support. Or it was 10-bit HDR, right?
Yeah, 10-bit HDR.
Yeah. So native support within the chip. That's definitely a highlight point. To be fair, I don't think or at least to me, I'm not really expecting a lot of people to start recording 8K video on their phones, because wow, that's going to be very iffy. But I think what's interesting is it introduces the possibility of other capabilities that might be done with the higher resolution, being able to do more processing on the video, picking up more creative ways to take advantage of it, and possibly, depending on how they could use it, maybe even doing multi-camera work through that pipeline. There's a lot more there.
Yeah. Samsung's working on Director's View for the S11, which is supposed to be multiple cameras at the same time, along with, they also have 8K doing that stuff. And the Exynos 90, 830, 990, whatever it's called, it's probably going to be as powerful as that. And that already supports the multi-cam recording, 8K 30 FPS video. So Qualcomm just needs to match what the numbers Samsung's putting out, and hopefully OEMs take care of it, because they won't. But if it can at least support, in theory, 8K, multi-cam recording, higher megapixel cameras, I guess now, it'll be a really good chip, especially since we're coming off. I guess the 855 was good, but I wouldn't complain for better.
I don't think anyone would.
That workhorse SoC. It's been there. It got its job done, but I don't know that anyone ever really walked away saying, wow, this was the big jump anyone was hoping for.
No one's really said that since the 820.
Right. And that's only because the 810 was so bad.
Oh, the 810 would heat your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hot mess, literally. I'm thinking, it'd be great to see 8K 30 to be able to have that huge pipeline, because I think we talked about this with David Immel last week, is that you have to have a 32 megapixel pipeline going in 30 times a second. That's going to be big. I think one disappointment that I am expecting is just, we have these huge sensors, this 48, 64, 108 megapixel, but the fact is that because of the way that they're designed, the brightness information may be 108 megapixels, but there's only so much color information that they can obtain naturally, that they have to resort to algorithms, remosaicing, as they say, in order to determine what other colors there are. I think it's a 4-to-1 ratio or something like that. which, I mean, great for pixel binning, because pixel binning, you're going back with that compression, you're going down to the natural color subpixels, where they are that size. But looking the other way, I have quality concerns about the image, and then combined with the fact that you're doing this, you're taking so much data for a video. That's also another concern. And then I think I wonder how much multicam we'll be able to pull out of this, because again, this is a pipeline issue. Are we talking 1080p, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 streams at a time, maybe 4K for one stream, or what combination of data can we get out of that? So I'm looking forward to multicasting, as it were, but I don't want to expect too much out of the details there.
Yeah, I mean, at this stage, really, after Apple talked about doing this with the iPhone, that's obviously going to be the new, I guess the it's going to be the bullseye on the dartboard for everybody, because now it's not like we haven't already had phones that could pull from a front and rear camera at the same time, but the new expectation is going to be that you can pull from multiple cameras all at once and process the video, do things with it.
Yeah.
How much this actually gets used in real life by regular people is, I think, going to be really, really minimal, but it's the thing everyone's going to expect to see.
Yeah. In Apple's, it sounded impressive on stage,
Oh,
but
so
when
good.
you actually looked into it, 1080p 30 FPS out of 2 lenses at the same time. That's it. Which isn't that much. Like, it's not, it's not as great as everyone thought it was going to be. So if Samsung's definitely going to come out with it. They've already got it working on it. But if they can at least do 3 lenses at once at 1080p 30, or even go above that, they've outdone Apple, and that's all they need for this product cycle.
Yeah,
that's fair.
So,
go ahead. I want to delay, so go.
Yeah.
No, I was going to go down a little bit more of that road about how useful that is, but yeah, that's beating a dead horse.
It's not useful.
It looked neat in Apple's one demonstration of it, but when you think about how often people are actually ever going to try to pull from multiple lenses at the same time, it just doesn't happen.
I just want a decent 12 megapixel image that captures as much detail as or as much, or you're able to do as much with it as a DSLR or something like that, and we still haven't gotten to that point. So I mean, we all have our standards. What do you want?
This is total aversion, but what I want is still a phone that lets you truly replace the lens. Let me be able to pop out the lens, attach a different freaking lens, and do what I really want with it.
Moment is pretty close.
Oh yeah,
Moment is pretty close. Yeah,
I talk to them all the time. I've got actually now every smartphone lens that they make. I would love I want the drone anamorphic lens, but no, they've done really great work with it, but they're still sticking a lens on top of another lens, and that limits it.
Yeah.
But anyway, total off topic.
I mean, I love going into the digression of things already. It's just
always fun.
Oh, and I'm sure
you can digest a painful topic. Oh yeah, totally. So just a little context as to what's going on with Qualcomm, because we've been looking at it since, I don't know, ever since they started blasting 5G down our throats. It became kind of a very important thing for them to carry out, and there was a risk of them not being able to do so with the Broadcom attempted acquisition back in late 2017. That was like a billions of dollars ordeal that, it didn't actually pan out for them because President Trump decreed that, that cannot happen. So that just ended right there. So, but there's always been this kind of performance issue with Qualcomm, at least for investors, because they have struggled to continue with the profits, or the profit pie that they've been building on. It used to be that they had a lot more IP sales than chip sales directly, and now that it's sort of evened out. So they're depending more on chip sales, and I think it's kind of apparent because we see those claims of antitrust from the phone OEM saying that they've been discouraged from working with competitors like MediaTek or Intel. Intel says that that's one of the reasons why they were forced out of the mobile chip business, is because of Qualcomm's ways, which is still to be decided in a court of law, but that's playing out on its own there. And then there are the questions about.
Just to interject really quickly, I think it is funny that Intel's using that as a complaint when Intel's been accused of the exact same thing numerous times. But
oh boy,
not
we can go back to Microsoft. Yeah, that's yeah. And then there's, speaking of Microsoft, how about Windows and ARM computing on PCs? That has its ups and downs. The main up to that is power efficiency. Good luck doing anything on an ARM-based PC.
Yeah,
that's the case with the initial 8CX chip that they launched last year, and it's still the case seemingly in the reviews that I've read for the Surface Pro X. And they made a big fuss about that. I don't know what chip they're using. Maybe it's a modified 8CX, or maybe it's a modified 8CX.
Yeah, that's what they were saying during it's essentially that with a couple, tuning things that Microsoft wanted to put through, but it's essentially the same chip.
They badly need a next gen, and they need that next gen to do orders more well for them, because that's something that they need to work on. I want to place this in the context of. Go ahead.
So, I was gonna say I was hoping that they would get 5G laptops coming up soon, because if the more we see like ARM on PC, the more we're going to see LTE laptops, which are great, and every laptop should have LTE at this point. And then we'll see 5G laptops, which could be a little bit more useful, especially with like game streaming being more popular.
So
that's.
I'll firmly agree with that. The thing is, what confuses me, or not confuses me, but what I've always found is the stumbling block. As much as customers keep asking for it, a lot of companies were never putting LTE into laptops. Obviously, there are a few out there. It's not like it's a completely unheard of thing. But like there were years and years ago, a fair number of laptops coming out with 3G. And then somewhere in the transition into LTE, we just did not see a lot of that happening. It kind of died off. And with 5G hitting, I'm not sure that we're necessarily going to pick back up, because I don't know if it's that companies don't see a profit potential there. Maybe they still figure consumers don't want this, or it's such a small number of consumers that want this, and that few is just very, very vocal, which, to be fair, happens a lot in this industry.
Definitely.
But yeah, I'm not sure yet that we're necessarily going to see a ton of 5G. I'm sure it'll happen. I just don't know that it's going to become a really a commonplace feature.
Yeah.
I think that the notion of Wi-Fi be more plentiful, available, and people, the protocol working on securing things end to end kind of helps take away from the 5G argument, or the cellular argument for laptops. It's just, Wi-Fi, if you're able to, you would prefer a Wi-Fi setup as opposed to a cellular setup if you're in the position to have to work for mobile more often. So I don't know, maybe that's just it.
Well, your scenarios are always going to be very different. I mean, I don't know. So I have gone to a few like press releases or press announcements, stuff like that. I assume you guys have too. I
Yeah.
don't know how often, but uh the thing is, like, it's such a common joke among all of us. We walk into one of those conference halls and forget it. Like, there is absolutely no hope that you're gonna get good Wi-Fi.
Not at all.
Because it's the most densely packed group of people, each one there with a laptop, each one there running like, a few of them are running the YouTube stream of the thing that they're
Yep.
actually sitting at. Other people have just tons of stuff going on. Some of them are taking pictures that are being fed live back over the Wi-Fi to other people who are working with them. Like, it's just this long, long list of all the different things that are happening. And so your connection is garbage, hot,
Oh
hot
yeah.
garbage.
Couldn't
So,
use it.
like me, every time I've gone to Google I/O, or every time I've gone to a few other events, first thing I do, I don't even try their Wi-Fi. I just immediately hop on a or I create a hotspot with my phone, and that's my internet connection. And
Yeah.
it screams above what everything else is. So for us, like, this would be
It's
awesome.
great. Yeah.
There's nothing we want more than to get 5G on our laptops, on our phones, everything like that. But
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
not sure that, like, if you're the type of person that's going into a Starbucks or working around the city, I don't know that you end up in these densely packed situations enough that you need more than Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is
No, not at
perfect for
all.
you.
Yeah, like, so the last event I was at was Samsung Unpacked for the Note 10, right? The Wi-Fi was slow, Discord wouldn't load. And Discord isn't really like a huge. I couldn't load Twitter. I couldn't even load WordPress to go edit any articles or put in anything new. That's how bad it
Ouch.
was. And even on a hotspot, it was terrible because so many people were connecting. So having like a laptop that'll go just straight over LTE, have no throttling, amazing. And at Unpacked, they actually announced the Samsung Galaxy Book S, which has LTE in it, and that's one of the ARM on PC chips with LTE, which is great. But at first, it's a Verizon exclusive.
Ugh. Of
So
course it is.
yeah, but at some point they'll get Sprint and AT&T and maybe have like a SIM unlocked one. But it's a pretty good laptop. I do have to say, great keyboard, good display, really light. I saw a couple of guys tossing the laptop around like a frisbee.
Nice.
It was funny, but it's a you know it's nice, it's useful, and especially for us, it would be something totally like if there was a good laptop with LTE. I think most of the tech journalists and YouTubers would get a laptop with LTE just immediately.
Okay, well, let's also just let's just say it honestly. When Apple puts a cellular modem into one of its laptops,
Immediately, everyone else.
yep. That will
Mhm.
be the shift. That's the moment when it will just become standard. Nobody will ship without it, except maybe Microsoft, because let's be honest, they're always going to be like 2 years behind on
Yeah.
everything.
I think
Well,
Apple has a new refresh coming up next year, so maybe they'll do it then.
Yeah, but I have a
perhaps.
feeling
I
they're
mean,
probably going to follow the 16-inch that just came out,
Yeah.
which doesn't have a cellular modem. You never know. I mean, they might surprise us, but it seems like that's
They
going to
were
be their next couple
rumored like a
years.
report today saying micro LED displays with like totally redesigned everything.
micro LED displays on
Interesting.
like a 15 or 16-inch canvas. Wow,
Yeah, that's
that's
what
a little.
they've also been saying that for like 3 years now. So
Yeah. Well, the rumors and stories that come out of Apple's R&D teams are prolific.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll have to see what comes out of their custom design ARM process. They've been bringing everything in house, and for the sake of internalizing all these costs and just not leaving things to chance. However, from the treatments that iOS 13 has taken, just a general kind of rush towards more, software and having more bugs pop up than they can squash, and caring more about service elements rather than just the basics. I feel like we're still in a reckoning
actually,
that's to be had.
actually that could be good, especially with their service now. They could push like an Apple NVMO, and whatever. They could push one of those with eSIM in it. Say, hey, you guys sign up for like an Apple subscription service, like having everything in it. We'll give you unlimited LTE, unlimited texting, unlimited calling. It'll automatically be signed in on every device. You'll have like nationwide LTE. It'll work on everything. And I know a lot of people would get that just immediately if they did it.
Yeah, and knowing Apple, it would also require that you own an iPhone and
Yeah.
use it as your primary phone. Somehow, some way, that will be a
It
requirement.
would like only work on eSIM and be linked to your Apple ID and everything. You would need an iPhone to sign up like the Apple Card.
Yep, is exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. And that'd be a great service, and I would probably get it just because that would be amazing, especially if there was LTE on like my laptop and everything. But there's nothing coming close to that for a long time.
Perhaps. I mean, if that's what the liberation of Qualcomm from their supply chain does for them, then all the more power to them. But I don't know if that's the.
I think Apple's using the X55 in the iPhone 12. There's
I
a
think there's
rumor. I saw something from like Mac Rumors, I think, saying X55 in the iPhone 12 for 5G.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I would suppose because Intel just pooped the bed, as we say, which is unfortunate. But the state of the competition is just not there.
Yeah.
So that's what happens sometimes. But I think what's going to happen right now is that it's getting a little bit tiring to talk about Qualcomm, isn't it? So why don't we transition over to something a little bit more self-serving, Cody?
Well, yeah. So in a moment we'll be just talking randomly, but first we should let you know that Android Police is live on Twitch 4 times a week. We can't do it without your support, and we love everyone who comes and joins us for the chat. And we also especially thank those who subscribe to Android Police on Twitch. As a subscriber, you get a special emoji of Ryan totally losing his garbage at a previous event. You also get free entries into AP's giveaways, and subscribers, you can pay for a subscription. It's $5 a month on Twitch, or if you are a Twitch Prime subscriber, you get a free subscription you can give to us each month. It's going to cost you nothing, and it helps us keep going. So you can learn more at twitch.tv/AndroidPolice. And if you don't use Twitch, you can, of course, visit androidpolice.com. There's a donate button right there that helps us out. And, of course, we also welcome bits or sometimes just your thanks.
Thank us in the chat right now, please.
All 12 of you.
All 12 of you.
Is that our
all
right.
right now? I don't know.
I don't actually.
I can never.
Stream open.
It's more than that, apparently. Diablo's there. Beastlightum.
Yeah,
all
I
the
see the members
regulars.
In the chat. Everyone's being so quiet.
I
know, right?
Not used to it. Yeah, our viewer count's 12. That's
Ben is here from 9 to 5. Come on, guys.
Shoons is here? What?
Yeah. Nexus Ben.
Oh, that is him. Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. I feel like we're harassing people here.
I know.
We'll see. Now we just need to start talking trash.
Jackson left.
Screw all of you. Screw the competition. We're screw 9 to 5. Screw The Verge. Screw iPhone Police. If there's a site out there like that.
Can we get Verge people to join our chat? That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'll call Leela up right now, and we'll see.
In our chat room, that'll set the standard.
Oh wow! Okay. I'm leaving now.
And Beastlightum says that the stream froze, which is, I mean, I'm not surprised. This snow and sleet that's happening is just.
You're
Ugh.
pixelated, but you're still coming
Yeah.
through to me.
Looks fine here.
Make sure, just make sure that you tune into the audio version where every little mistake has been edited out, and
Yeah.
Yes.
Tune.
It looks fine on this
Yeah, I
stream.
see movement. It's janky. It's like
Yeah.
we're getting massive frame drops, but
I wasn't
than
expecting my speed to drop out today, so hooray! That's life. All
yeah,
right. So
while your weather's bad, I may have to start doing some of the streaming.
yeah, that's I appreciate that. But in any case, I think we should come out of this break, this long and protracted break, and also insulting all the people on the audience. From saying hi
we're already inside
again
baseball, so let's go more inside baseball.
So
this is just
Max,
yes.
hello, and
Hello.
I just wanted to ask. I don't think we've ever gotten to your roots as a techie, as a so-called tech journalist. So I want to ask, how did you come into this thing?
So I was bored a lot like 3 years ago when Samsung started up their like beta programs, and I was like super into it. So the S7 beta doesn't matter. It's the S8 beta. And I'm really a Samsung nerd at this point, and I hope you can probably tell. But I emailed some of the executives asking like, "Hey, when's the beta starting?" And they told me, and they signed me up for it. And then they started ignoring my emails. And then after that, I started like decompiling the apps from APK tool because I was reading over on AP and XDA like, oh, they're doing APK teardowns. Look for new features. I'll go do this over on like S8 beta. And I ended up finding a couple features, which were essentially the intelligence scan for facial recognition, then a couple camera features for the S9 on the S8 beta. And then Michelle over at XDA was like, hey, do you want to come do this for us? I said, sure. And that's how it started. And that's essentially what's led up to now.
Wow, that's a romance story for the times.
Yeah.
So in all of that, like, it was just Samsung? Like, what actually got you into the whole Samsung thing, or into Android in general?
I was getting my phone freshman year of high school because my parents were like, yeah, you can wait till then. And I was deciding between the iPhone 6 and the S6 Edge. And I was like, you know what? The S6 Edge seems better and it looks more futuristic than the iPhone. So I'll just go for that one instead. And then, well, true love story. Started liking it more than the iPhone. Because I was like a real Apple shill before that, just Apple everything. And then I got Samsung.
Really?
Yeah, it's hard to believe, but I have a few people that will say, yeah, it's true. But yeah, so and then I got
Like, did you
Samsung.
come into like your freaking MacBooks and whatnot beforehand, or like an iPod Touch or an iPod?
I had a MacBook Pro, iPad 3 or 4, and then I had an iPod Touch, and then I had wanted like every Apple product because Apple was Apple. And then I started getting Samsung stuff and switched over to like Windows and Samsung. And then starting like this year, I've gone more cross-platform. I have a MacBook Pro, iPad Pro, AirPods, Galaxy Buds, Samsung stuff. I've got everything, and I like having the combination of everything.
It's funny.
It's great to start.
I think you and
Go
I
ahead.
may have actually traveled exactly opposite technology or ecosystem paths. I started out, I was one of the most hardcore Apple haters for years and years. And to be fair, we're different generations here. So
Yeah.
you know, I came up when Apple was just so horrendously bad for the ecosystem because everything was different just to be different. Not to say that they don't still do a bit of that, but still. And man, for me, it was at a certain point, Windows had become so bad and so unreliable that after spending years and years making my entire living developing Windows software, I was like, you know what? It's time to try something else. And I bought a MacBook Pro, and I have not really been interested in anything else since. It's been so much better for me.
Yeah. I've been pretty much Apple stuff as well, except I'm really interested in either the new Razer Blade laptop or Surface Laptop 3 because I want a Windows laptop again, and I can't decide between those two.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, the one thing is I can't do an iPhone as a main phone.
Oh
I
yeah,
would
no.
like it as a shooter. I'd like it as maybe for gaming on a phone, but holy crap, I cannot use that as a phone. I tried it, it did not go well.
No. It's a good second phone, I do have to say, especially if like the Apple Watch is great. So keep an iPhone in one pocket, like a Pixel or a Samsung phone in the other, and life is great.
We are the
The
only
official stance
we're
of the
only
Android
group of
Police
people carrying around
podcast
multiple
is the official stance of the Android Police podcast is Apple Watch great, um, Android phones not particularly so, but yeah, okay. So I guess there's that. I personally was raised on Windows PCs, so much so that even if I wanted to learn Apple wares, I would complain all the way. I would not like it. I would just struggle and forget everything that I've learned. So for me, I'm just stuck here. I really want to get this little unit that I have replaced. It seems like it's on its last legs. The battery doesn't like take a proper charge anymore, so it's just plugged in all the time. So that's the start of it. But also the hard disk is just it always likes to give me frustration. So there's that. On the other hand, I have a keyboard that works, and even if I pour orange juice into it that one time a few years ago, it still works. Don't care about any butterfly switches. That's the sign of quality.
Oh, we're the Magic keyboard now because Butterfly was terrible.
Well, this is just some crappy chiclet thing. I don't know what's going on here.
It's probably
I can
better
see
than
lots of
Butterfly.
testing it. Yeah. So, with all that being said, so XDA, I don't remember when. I think it was like last year. Yeah, it was just last year that Brendan decided to buy back Pocket Now, I was at
Yep.
there beforehand. So we spent a few months in the same chat room, in the same Discord.
Yes.
Can you tell me how Joe has evolved as a frail adult who cannot calm any of our teens down? Because
At first he was kind of like, standing back. Then he got into it, and now he's one of us.
I see. So just adding
Yeah.
more Discord to the Discord.
Of course,
Man.
it is fun. We have weird conversations.
Yeah, I was just saying. I want to ask how is it there? How has working there affected your kind of the way you think about your career, your formative career? Do you see tech writing as more of a path for you, or has it always been a path for you?
It didn't really start as a path for me. I had absolutely no interest in doing this until I started doing it, and then I'm like, oh, this is actually kind of fun. So now I'm making up decisions on what I want to do. I'm applying to colleges now and such, so I'm applying to business school because having a business degree it can't hurt. So I have some decisions to make once I graduate college.
Anyone will hire anyone with an MBA. That's
Yes.
a good rule of life.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I was thinking
Yeah,
about
right
it.
now B school is definitely probably one of the few decently safe bets in college.
Yeah.
Really quick,
Until the next
there is
recession.
a question from chat room just for clarification. Someone may want to explain who is Joe. You guys mentioned him, but
yeah, he's the managing editor over at XDA. He edits essentially everything during the day and likes to be a huge meme lord. So that's
Joe Fidawa,
yeah.
formerly of Fandroid, by the
Yep.
way.
And he would be mad if I didn't say this. My eggs. There was
I don't know where that comes from.
I retweeted a video yesterday of some dude drinking, taking 30 vitamin pills, then drinking some eggs, just raw eggs. And Joe was dying at the way he said my eggs. So,
wow.
yep.
Have we met our real life Gaston?
I think so. This guy is something.
So, with all that said, I mean, how do you see yourself going forward in terms of, well, not just like business, but like, do you want to, get ahead more in terms of going to events, or like, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself doing video?
I do a little bit of video for XDA, like kind of unprofessional, just quick, hey, here's how to do this, or here's what I think about a phone. And it works. And then going to events. Right now I'm planning on going to the next Samsung events because I'm a Samsung guy. I kind of have to. And maybe other ones because I live near New York. So if there's anything in New York, Google usually has some down there. OnePlus does. I'm going to try to go to them if I'm free. And events are fun. Might as well go meet up with other tech people and just see new phones.
Sounds like a good idea. Cody, do you have any inspired conversation you want to start with Max?
Oh, well, gee, thanks for putting me on the spot.
I know, right? Well, I mean, you like, we had that Q&A back last week, and we were like dishing out on all the Stadia, like how it worked, and then I forget. Did you actually go into like Windows as well or something?
Yeah,
that was a fun time.
Well, that was a few hours of entertaining conversation. Which, by the way, if anyone is listening now and has not actually joined for the Q&A shows, what's wrong with you? You're missing good stuff right there. But but no. Well, so obviously Max has gotten to play plenty in the world of tech journalism. I, I guess my question would be: are you seeing yourself going into other elements of tech? So possibly just going full scale software developer. Are you thinking of sticking to I guess sort of the more overall position, maybe I guess basically chasing the C-level executive at some company sort of thing, like where it's the classic, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yeah.
But said without the douchey, where do you see yourself in 5 years question.
Yeah. So I don't know. I kind of fly. I just go kind of whatever I feel like at the moment. So I don't know. Out of college, depends on what I'm doing at the time, what is interesting, what is popular. Like at the moment, I'd love to be some executive at a tech company. That'd be interesting to me because I feel like a lot of them are terrible right now and they need to be replaced immediately. So I would love to go do that, and I think I would hopefully be a good fit in one of those because I can boss people around pretty well. So yeah, just something, something that isn't just. I'm not really a software developer, so something that isn't that, but still in technology, great for me.
So you're not really a software developer, but you do seem to have kind of a access to a different track. You've been talking a lot with Chinese leakers that we know of, Ice Universe being one of them. I think Max from Samsung News over in Germany. What's it like being in that kind of pool, without giving too much away, of course?
Most of the leakers, I'm gonna cut out two. I'm not gonna mention by name, but I think most of us would know who they are. most leakers are actually really nice guys. I speak to Max. I speak to Ishan, who is out of India. He does his own with like My Smart Price. I speak to
Ishan Agarwal, yes.
Yep. And then like Ice Universe, they're all really nice guys, and we all talk about stuff. We know a lot about phones that are upcoming that we don't leak publicly, but we all tell each other because we're not going to all leak each other's stuff. So if Sean has something coming up, I'll know about it ahead of time. If Max does, I'll know about it ahead of time. If Ice does, I'll know about it, and we all tell each other. So it's kind of like a nice small community of like 5 people who all tell each other everything and all know it all. And it's, a fun little just area there. And as for getting leaks, we all have our own ways.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Fact, after your subtle comments, we're all about to get blocked on Twitter for about 2 months.
I've already blocked.
Oh yeah, I've never even talked to said person, and he blocked me once briefly for reasons I never understood. And I guess association with other people, and then I later got unblocked, and it's like, cool, I don't care, I don't follow you anyway.
Yeah,
there's a ton of stuff I could say to that, but out of respect for all parties involved, I will not. So there you go.
And baseball.
Oh boy, inside baseball. I completely lost track of where I wanted to take this conversation. Except I don't know. Where can people follow you?
Twitter or XDA. So my Twitter is Max Weinbach, but Weinbach is spelled weird. It's WINEBACH because
because you're weird like that.
My Twitter handle is taken, and Twitter is doing their weird things with like removing handles but not doing it. So I'm just kind of waiting till I can get an account deactivated that hasn't been signed in for 4 years. Then I'll get my actual handle. But for now, it's Max Weinbach. That's spelled weirdly.
I'm also tell us one day to actually get back to my original Twitter handle. I did not used to have an underscore in mine.
Oh,
yeah.
Dang. Quick question. How many Discord servers do you manage now?
Enough. So I've got mine, which is Sam Central. I've got 2 private ones, and I manage the D-Brand Discord. And by the way, those new D-Brand skins that came out today look insane. Those are really nice.
They look pretty neat. Yeah.
So since I moderate their Discord, they send me some of their stuff. It's like, hey, thank you. I have almost $200 worth of skins coming soon. All in that new design, and that's gonna look really great.
So you'll be spending a whole afternoon just pulling the half tabs on, and then sliding it over. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, it's a process.
Well,
I don't miss that from putting on screen protectors. So many years of putting on screen protectors. I'm happy to basically not ever really do that anymore.
Well, when I visit you again, I would like to see some of that process in action. So please save some for me.
Yes, I have a lot of skins coming.
Indeed. Well, on that note, we will make like Ed Gein and split the skins from the conversation. I don't know why I just did that. Let me just try that again. Edit point. I keep watching Brad Leone on from Bon Appetit, and he always makes Ed Gein jokes, and I don't know where he gets it from. In any case, on that note, we should probably split. So all the topics we've talked about, that one topic that we actually haven't even written about as of yet, can be found today at androidpolice.com/podcast. We are live 4 times a week with the show 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the Q&A, which is happening tomorrow. That's Tuesday, 1:30 Pacific. Please do check that out. Max, you're invited to crash into that again at your will.
Okay.
We'd love to hear your Yeah, exactly. Twitch.tv/Android Police. We would love to hear your thoughts on the program. You can send an email to podcast@androidpolice.com. Max has already told us where he's at, so please go visit him at Max Weinbach, WINEBACH on Twitter. And Cody's at Cody_Toombs, TOOMBS. Our producer, that's me, it's Jules Wong. I'm at Point Jules. And our theme music is by Home. David will hopefully be back on Wednesday in Hawaii at the Qualcomm Tech Summit. Hopefully it's going to be interesting. He'll have Daniel Bader from Android Central. Big blast. We'll see you then. And until then, have a great week. Cheers. Now it's going to be 5,000 seconds before the freaking end card loads up because somehow that